We all love a good Whammons Most Affected story here, don't we? Moms in middle age, rarely alone, often online, and increasingly lonely. Social media has both helped and hurt Gen X mothers dealing with burnout and loneliness during the pandemic. Well, chances are most of them were in favor of these lockdown measures, so cry me a river, you get what you deserve. And second, as an introvert, I'm finding it very difficult to feel sorry for any of these people because I've lived my entire life being forced to conform to what the extroverts do and what they would expect of me, what they want me to do. And every time I try to explain this to them, like, I don't like doing this. This isn't fun. I'd rather be doing something else. It's like, oh, quit being a pussy. Oh, be a team player. Do it for the rest of us. It's like, well, when are you going to make any sacrifices for me? Spoiler alert, they never did. So as an introvert who's had to put up with this shit my whole life, now that I'm watching these extroverts be forced into an introvert lifestyle and crying about it, my reaction is the same as theirs was to me. Like, quit being such a pussy. Grow up and deal with it. Why does it all have to be about you? Why are you being so selfish, huh? Man, there are parts of this pandemic that I'm legitimately enjoying, and this is one of them. Middle age is the crowded time. It's also a lonely one. Work and family demands have little time for nurturing friendships, particularly for Whammons. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So the dude is working 80 hours a week to put food on the table for her. And then he comes home and she makes him do half of the housework and childcare activity anyway. But she's most affected because she only has 4 hours a day now to watch soap operas instead of the 6 she used to have. How sad. Pre-pandemic, conversations about loneliness often centered on men with talk of loneliness epidemic. But during lockdown, Generation X Whammons, range in age from fucking old to a lot older, reported the sharpest rise in loneliness, according to a survey of more than 1,000 adults conducted in the spring of current year -2 by the Roots of Loneliness Project, a research organization. Well, which is kind of funny. Like, wouldn't their husbands be at home more? Why are they feeling more lonely? Oh, right, because they can't go see their boyfriends as easily. It makes sense. Yeah, and the increase in social isolation reported by Whammons living with children was also the greatest among those from Gen X, according to an unpublished portion of the survey shared with the Wall Street Journal. From Whammons feeling burned out from holding family life and work together, social media had typically been the most convenient place to vent and seek connection, but going online has surfaced feelings of inadequacy and loneliness, many say. Welcome to the club, I guess. Man, this is just great, though. Women experience things men have dealt with for generations. Women most affected. Yeah, sure. Miranda Reinhardt, a 38-year-old photographer in Pueblo, Colorado, with children ages 11 to 20, says she hasn't found her mom tribe. She said she's never fit in with her kids' friends' mothers because she's either been the youngest parent in the group or among the oldest. So, look at what your age is. Like, the older you get, the wider the acceptable age range of people to hang out with gets as well. Like, if you're 15, an age gap of 8 years is a big deal, for example. But if you're 60, 8 years is nothing, right? Like that's the kind of thing that happens. So at 38, what would be an acceptable age range to hang out with? It would be like within plus or minus 8 years, right? Weird. So the fact that she homeschools her kids because her husband traveled frequently when they were young has made it tougher for her to find friends with similar interests and stances, she said. Why don't you do a homeschooling group like Ricada does? It's a communal thing. She doesn't feel she fits in with the other homeschooling mothers in her area because she says she feels their views are more conservative than hers. Oh, that's the problem then, huh? Oh, they don't align with my politics, so they are literally Nazis and I can't get along with them. Sounds like this is a self-inflicted loneliness right here. No, it feels strange to think about feeling lonely because I'm never alone, she said. There's always someone around, but I feel like I'm missing that connection with moms who are going through similar things. Why do you need that, though? Do you need everyone to be just like you? Well, Miss Reinhardt and a close friend who has a 6-year-old and another child about to turn 3 watched the TV show This Is Us together before the pandemic. But as work and life became busier for both, they stopped, figuring they would pick up later. They haven't yet. That's true. It's like, oh yeah, things are getting busy. This person had kids. This person got another job. We're gonna have to put the D&D game on hold. 4 years later, it's still not back. So where's the time? Where's the energy? She said. Corona Chan has added so much to the mental load for moms, which was high already, that at the end of the day, we're just worn out. So you mean falling for the fear mongering and constantly living in fear and panic will wear you out? Now, that's news to me. I didn't know that would happen. No, Miss Reinhardt said her Facebook feed helped her maintain connections with old friends, but left her with mixed emotions. It's a link to people you haven't talked to in ages. I can see their lives, but I'm not part of them, she said. Social media has made me feel less isolated, but more lonely. Isn't it just sad that these extroverts who made us conform to their lifestyles now have to conform to ours? Oh, how tragic. Now, Ms. Reinhardt has tried Facebook groups to find moms in similar life stages, but because she hasn't found a group of in-person friends, she sometimes feels that she's left on the sidelines. When she sees posts of women's getting together for a girls' night out or going on a trip, it stings. I want that, she said. Sometimes I stop and ask myself, what did I do wrong? You're 38 and you still want to go out and party, huh? What is it that you always say when us guys just want to stay home and play video games? Oh, right. You need to grow the fuck up. You know, social media can make it feel like everyone has a friend group, she added. Some days I feel like I'm a teenager again, wondering why can't I find a group that like that to fit into? Am I not funny enough? Am I too introverted? If you were introverted, you wouldn't be having this problem. You'd actually be enjoying your situation. Like, what the hell? Yeah, that's another problem I have with a lot of extroverts. They are slightly less outgoing than the rest of their friends, and they're, oh, I am such an introvert. Uh huh. You sure are. Everyone has been in their bubbles and enjoying it too, honestly. Yeah, when I posted a question about middle-aged loneliness in a large Facebook parenting group, I immediately heard from more than 300 whammons, most of whom expressed similar feelings. Deb Fabrizio, 55-year-old divorced mother of two, became an empty nester last summer after her youngest daughter graduated from college. Nabbing time with married friends was always tricky, but Miss Fabrizio, who an accountant in Burlington, Connecticut, said she made an effort to organize gatherings and could find someone to have dinner with or go on a walk with at night. Now, I was out volunteering and meeting people, and then the pandemic shut that all down. She said everyone has been in their bubbles. Now, all of these women complaining about this, how many of them do you think supported all of these lockdown measures? Come on, it's for the greater good. Quit being so selfish. Working remotely has made life even lonelier, she added. Instead of dinners and walks, she said Facebook is now her way to keep up contact. That has been a mixed blessing. So partly it's boomers that refuse to give up that on The Office and admit it's dead, and partly people like this that are leading the resistance against working from home. People like me would want nothing more than permanent work from home for any position that doesn't require your physical presence. But it's people like this that keep fucking it up. Yeah, they should play video games. Yeah, get a hobby. A current minus 4 AARP Foundation survey of people 45 and older found middle-aged and older adults report feeling more lonely as they increase their use of social media. Should we just ban social media? Because it's sounding like social media is cancer. A study of adults in Italy conducted during the lockdown found social media is no substitute for in-person social interactions. What have us introverts been saying for years? That being forced to hang out and do extrovert things is no substitute for us just like staying home and building Gundam models or reading a book or whatever. But no. You gotta just be a team player, man. Okay. Miss Fabrizio has been cautious about socializing due to health issues and because she doesn't want to risk infecting her granddaughter, who was born in June of current year -2. Yeah, imagine how much this pandemic is going to fuck up future generations, too. Yeah, friends became so used to her declining invitations, they don't always think to ask her out, and then they post about their gatherings on Facebook. Oh my God, did you seriously just go there? Oh, I've been health conscious, so I've been declining all of their invitations. So of course they stopped inviting me after like 6 months, and now I'm mad that they stopped inviting me. There's no way to win. No wonder you don't have friends. This is the type of person that's just a chore to deal with. Now, there's a big fear of missing out, Miss Fabrizio said. I've seen photos of friends at the beach. I think they were outside. I could have gone, but you chose not to. Andy Martin, a 52-year-old mother of 2 college kids in Atlanta, spends most of her time assisting her 84-year-old mother and taking her to doctor's appointments. She moved to Georgia from Texas 5 years ago for her husband's job and hasn't forged deep connections like the ones she had before relocating. By the time your kids are in high school, most Whammons have their own little group of parent friends. Well, at least she's being kept busy. So Ms. Martin said she appreciated being able to connect on social media with far-flung friends and relatives during the lockdown phase of the pandemic, but thought the connections were superficial. I like knowing what they're doing, but it doesn't solve my loneliness problem, she said. Well, get a hobby. Find something you can do that doesn't require other people. It's not hard. Man, these stories are just great. I normally might feel a little bit of sympathy for some of them, but then I realize who it is that's complaining, and it is mostly the same types of people that kept telling me I just had to grow up and deal with it. Okay, now it's your turn. Grow up and deal with it. This is the new normal.